what's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Fares and Adelia. Welcome to another great edition of The Rally. First of all, I'd like to apologize to everyone who watched last time's episode of The Rally. We forgot to preview the men's final, and we apologize.
We were having such a time talking
Yes.
about Djokovic and Sinner,
Mm.
and we just didn't preview the final.
We forgot, but we'll tell you who we thought were gonna win. We'll be honest. I'll be honest. I'll tell you who I thought was gonna win. But without further ado, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, as well as if you're listening on the audio feed, the rally's on its independent own audio feed. So make sure to type in The Rally. So is it still
Rally LGRN? Type in the Rally LGRN.
Yes,
Make
the
sure you
Rally.
get us.
Yes, the Rally LGRN. It's its own feed. Hit the 5 stars, rate and review. Do your thing. We appreciate you. You find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify for podcasters, which I think is that
It's Spotify for creators now.
Okay.
It's
Spotify for creators. Amazon
I don't
Music.
think anybody really uses it. Amazon Music. We're on Castbox and Overcast and a whole bunch of places. You can actually find them by going to gfbr.lgrn.online.
Yes. Go to that's our website.
That's not the website. That's the links.
That's the links
page.
But we do have a website. It's letsgetreadynetwork.com, where we're doing a lot of stuff. Also, we also have a newsletter, and we also have some columns coming up.
Yeah, the newsletter will be coming back.
Yes,
probably this weekend.
Yes, but without further ado, I'd like to introduce my co-host, the co-pilot, the goose to my maverick, the one, the only, Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia, how are you?
I'm good, Fares. How are you doing tonight? We've got 2 very different finals to talk about here.
Absolutely. Yes, we do. I'm doing good. It was great tennis. I watched it. It was great. It was great to wake up.
I don't think I can call the women's final great. The men's final was great.
Yes,
but I don't think we can call the women's final
great. No. You know what? Let's get right into it. The women's final. The women's final had American Amanda Anisimova and Polish sensation 5-time.
Now 6-time.
Now 6-time. She was 5-time Grand Slam champion, Iga Swiatek. Iga came in. This was, you could say, maybe her weakest tournament, or because her weakest result of the tournament, because I believe she made the semifinal in Australia.
She made semis in Australia. She's won the U.S. Open, and she's won the French 4 times. So yeah, I'd say this was probably her weakest slam.
Her weakest result. Yeah, I'm gonna say result, because I'm not gonna say weakest. This was her weakest result.
She couldn't figure out how to play on grass.
Yes. There's something. Someone says something about her, about this specific thing that really helped her, that I'll bring up a little bit later. But let's get into the numbers, Adelia. The numbers tell us a story. What did the numbers tell us, Adelia?
Well, the first numbers that I want to talk about is that Amanda Anisimova played 42 points on serve in this match, and she won 13 of them. Iga's return game was relentless.
Mm-hmm.
But Iga had 3 aces. Iga had 2 double faults to Amanda's 5. Amanda had no aces. Iga made 78% of her first serves. Amanda only 45%. Iga won 72% of her first serves. Amanda won 26%. Second serve was no better. Iga won 63%. Amanda won 35%. Iga 6 of 9 for break points, 3 for 3 at the net. She won 69% of her receiving points, which is what I was just talking about. Iga only had 10 winners to 11 unforced errors. Amanda had 8 winners to 28 unforced errors. That is not a ratio that you like if you're Amanda Anisimova. Iga won 55 total points. Amanda won 24. This was pure and utter domination from start to finish, and it shows you what can happen when nerves take over. Because not 2 days earlier, Amanda Anisimova went out there and beat the number 1 player in the world. Arguably the best player in the world for the last 2 years, Aryna Sabalenka.
Absolutely.
And she just looked frozen out there. Like, she couldn't think. She was moving a step too slow. She didn't have enough acceleration on her shots. And Iga looked so dialed in and focused, it was intimidating. And I'm actually surprised that it took Amanda until she was down 6-love, 5-love to sit at the change of ends and cry. Because if she'd released that emotion a little sooner, she might have been able to loosen up those nerves.
Mhm.
But yeah, just complete domination from Iga.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's why it was unentertaining. Like I said about Iga, right? This was her weakest result in the majors. Someone said because she lost the French early enough.
Early for her.
Because usually at the French, she's making it to the semis, finals, wins it. And she doesn't have the time, just like her opponents, to figure out the grass season. So someone said her being bounced out of Roland Garros early for her helped her then figure out grass. She has
let's
time.
be clear. Early for Iga at Roland Garros was still a semifinal.
Yeah. So you don't think there's no validity to that?
I think there's validity to that because they had the chance to go, okay, let's not play grass court tournaments the first 2 weeks of the grass court season. And let's just go and work in Mallorca or wherever they went. I think I heard it was Mallorca, and figure out some stuff. Wim Fissette told somebody at ESPN, I forget who, that it was the first time since he started coaching her that they really had a chance to just go work on some stuff. And so it just clicked. And like, I think this has the potential to have been a really good match, but Anisimova's nerves. I'm not taking anything away from Iga. I'm not. Iga was dialed in and fantastic, and she won her last 3 sets of this tournament 6-love. She won her last like 20 games of the tournament, which is just insane to even think about. But I felt so bad for Amanda.
No, I'm with you, man. It was bad. It was bad overall. But could this be a, let me see, like a Pete Sampras situation, right? Where he figured it out. The first three, I believe the first 3 times at Wimbledon, Pete Sampras's best result was the second round. And then in 92, semifinal. You're like, oh, hey, good, Pete. Yay, man. Look at you, Pete. Boom, 3 in a row.
I mean, the unpredictability on the women's side at Wimbledon lends me to believe that Iga's not going to roll off 3 straight, but you never know.
You never know.
I mean, since the last time Serena won Wimbledon, which I think was in 2016, we've had 8 different winners in a row. Or 9. It might be 9 now if you count Serena as one of the different winners. Like, it's insane how unpredictable Wimbledon has been on the women's side. And I mean, it's hard to win a Grand Slam. It's really hard. I also think that it's really hard to do what Anisimova did, which is come to a place where she lost in qualifying last year.
Yep, absolutely.
And make the final. So, just much love to Amanda. I think she's a very inspirational figure in women's tennis for speaking about her mental health and saying she needed a break. I hope that this doesn't affect her US Open now, because I think she's playing really great tennis. She obviously didn't in the final, but I think leading up to that, she was playing really great tennis. She's in the top 10 now. She's going to have a good, better draw than maybe she might have had otherwise, seeding as far as being a seeded player in New York in a few weeks. So I
can't wait.
I know.
I love the U.S. Open, man. I love the U.S. Open, man. Just something about the U.S. Open, it's just different. You know what I mean? It's just different.
That New York energy is definitely different than anywhere else. But the umps
don't tell people to be quiet. The umps be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I don't care.
It's New York.
Play the point. I don't care that someone walked up to go to get a beer.
Well,
Just play the point."
they're allowed to do that in New York.
Yeah.
You can just walk in and out.
Yeah.
The crowd in New York very different than the crowd
Wimbledon.
in Wimbledon, where champagne corks are falling on the.
Exactly.
We'll get to
Exactly.
that. I don't think that there's anything that really take away from Amanda's performance in this final, other than the nerves were just too much for her,
Mhm.
and maybe she has a sports psychologist she can lean on, or somebody she can lean on to work through that, so that the next time she gets there, because I think she has the game to get to another Grand Slam final for sure.
Absolutely.
That the next time that she gets there, should she, this doesn't happen again. I always feel bad for the people who make their first Grand Slam final at Wimbledon, because it's Wimbledon and it's tradition and all of this, and it's like making your first final pairing ever at a golf tournament at the Masters. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's just that prestigious, and
The crown
sometimes
prince is just staring daggers at you. You know what I mean?
I don't think William was there
No, I'm
for the
just talking about
final.
overall. I'm just talking about
Yeah,
overall.
just
Yeah.
overall, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got the Princess of Wales and sitting in the royal box with
Mhm.
all of these past winners of Wimbledon, and it's just
Imagine Bjorn Borg just staring you down.
it's got to be so disappointing to know that she went from that performance to take out Sabalenka to this.
Hmm.
But for Iga, she looked so dialed in and focused because she's got the experience in the slam finals. She knows what it's like to get to these
Hmm.
occasions, even if she'd never done it at Wimbledon before.
Yep. 5 times.
So I wanted Amanda to win, but I kind of
Yes.
thought Iga would win. I did not expect this.
Yeah. No, I didn't expect bagel. I didn't. I thought her serve would serve her well, but it didn't. It didn't.
No, her serve let her down badly.
Exactly. It's kind of common theme in both finals, because in the men's final, one of the players, their serve let them down, which is funny because in the semifinal, the serve kept, we'll talk about it in a bit, kept
We'll
that
talk about
player
it,
in
yeah.
it in a bit. But yeah, it was I was so sad. No, I'm with you because like we say all the time, Adelia, tennis is the example, right? When you talk to someone, they say like sports are 90% mental, 10% physical. Tennis is the epitome of that.
Yeah.
You lose your mental, it's over. It's over. Like 3 years ago, Sabalenka lost her mental. She was underhand serving because she couldn't serve.
Yeah.
There was nothing there, and then
That-
she fixed it by adding that coach they had, the bald guy. I don't know his name. I think his name is Jason. He's like her mental coach.
Oh, yeah.
So they added him, and she's now in a better place. And Arena Sabalenka, the best women's tennis player for the past 2 years, so she's in a better place now. That's the thing in this sport. 90% right here. Like we said, Adelia,
It is. It really is.
yeah, the big three beat you before you walked onto the tennis court.
Yeah,
they broke you.
and now we have what was it Jim Courier was calling them during Roland Garros, the new two. They're pretty much beating people before they go out on court too. Not to the
Yeah.
same level yet, but between the two of them, as we sort of transition now into the men's final, they've won the last 7 majors.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Jim Courier being a trendsetter. Shout out to you, Jim.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
I
good
like
Jim.
that name for them,
It's
but I don't
horrible,
have
but,
another name for them.
exactly.
At this point.
The big three is in
Sincaraz. A lot of people are calling them Sincaraz.
That's
because
horrible.
we used to
That
have
is-
Fidal.
That's horrible.
I know. I didn't like Fidal either, but
No.
now they're calling him Sincaraz.
Fidal sound like a
And
dictator,
enough
but,
with the
that's just-
portmanteaus, people. It's
Yeah.
just not going to work.
He's like, stop
Um,
combining people's name.
Yeah. Ferris, why don't you give us some details on?
Fidalovic.
Well, no, they never included Djokovic in that. It was just Fidal.
Yeah.
Ferris, why don't you give us some details on Sinner and Alcaraz?
Well, let's break it down right here. Breaking it down by the numbers. Carlos Alcaraz had 15 aces to 8 for Sinner. Double faults. Here it is, 7-2 in favor of Sinner with the 2. First serve ins 62%, 53% for Carlos Alcaraz. First serve points won, dead even actually, 75%.
Yeah, when they got the first serve in, they won a good
Yes.
percentage of the points. It's
Yeah.
just Carlos had trouble getting the first serve in.
Exactly. So then second serve points won, 60% Sinner, 51% Alcaraz. And then we get to the net points. It was kind of dead even, 75%, 74%. Both of them kind of, they had their moments of serve and volley, the old school Wimbledon tradition of it. Both of them were very good at it. But then the break points here it is, 4 for 9 for Sinner, 2 for 6 for Alcaraz. Receiving points, 36% Sinner, 31% Alcaraz. Then the winners, you had 40 to 38 unforced errors, 40 for Sinner, 36 for Alcaraz. So really, that's pretty much, it was the serve, right? It was pretty much the serve. Alcaraz's serve wasn't. I think he beats anyone else, but he was against Jannik Sinner.
I'd agree with that.
And with Jannik, you kind of have to be, I'll say completely perfect, but you can't have 53% first serve in. You can't have 7 double faults. And the double faults, so it's not even just having random double faults. There were certain double faults in certain games that hampered him.
They were important.
They were important. They were important because, and like Sinner did, right? Sinner saw, shout out to Adelia, she'll be right back. Sinner saw what Taylor Fritz did. Sinner went big. He saw what Fritz did. He said, I can see Fritz is giving him a problem here. And like, how we talked about, Fritz had the match, could have extended it to a 5th set, and you don't know what's going to happen in a 5th set. You don't know. He had the 4th set there, and he was giving him trouble. And Sinner was like, oh, Fritz, he gave me kind of a template. Not a full template, but I can use that. And that's what Sinner did. He went big with the serve. He went big forward. And, unfortunately, unlike Taylor Fritz, Jannik Sinner is fleet of foot. He can cover ground. So when Fritz would smash it in, and then, Alcaraz would bring it in with like a nice return or a nice drop shot, Sinner, he could reach for it. He could get it, Athletically, he's more athletic than Taylor, so he could get to it. Taylor's big, just like Sinner, but Taylor, a little stone foot. But Sinner, man, he's light on his feet. He can move. He can track. He can cover grass very well, and that's what makes him and Carlos Alcaraz the best tennis players on planet Earth on the men's side. Last 7 major champions. You saw it. I kept saying to myself, Adelia, with the Grigor Dimitrov of game, right? He's down 2 sets to love, right? But it was 2-2 in the 3rd set.
Mm-hmm.
And, in tennis, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You assume Grigor would win a 3rd set.
You assume Grigor would have won that match.
Yeah.
Given the way the match was going. But that's the thing about this sport.
Yeah.
If you get injured and can't continue, then you got a really lucky break, Jannik Sinner.
Yeah.
But you made the most of that lucky break because he still had to win matches after that. It's not like that was the final and then he just got the trophy and he was like being outplayed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And dude, you just Sinner, by the way, first Italian man ever to win Wimbledon. Mm-hmm. So shout out to the country of Italy and their tennis. They have Jannik Sinner, Matteo Berrettini, Fabio Cavoli. Lorenzo Mussetti's retired.
No.
Fabio Fognini's retired.
Yes.
Lorenzo Mussetti's still around. My bad. Yes. Sorry. And then there's Sonego. And then there's Jasmine Paolini on the women's side. So, shout out to Italian tennis, man. They up. Shout out to Italian tennis. They're up.
Italian tennis is doing very well.
Shout out to the Caratoa boys. But yeah, that's really came down to the match with Adelia. Alcaraz's serve wasn't
just the serve though. Yeah. The drop shot, which had served him so well against Fritz, was all over the place. Yeah.
Everything he did good against Taylor Fritz.
It just wasn't working.
None of it worked.
It worked in the first set when Sinner went up a break and then Carlos broke back twice to take the set 6-4. But it was like after that,
Sinner wasn't going to be.
Sinner just decided he was not going to lose.
Yeah,
that day
he couldn't lose in front of Seal. Just wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen. It's like Seal is here, man. I want to be, the kiss from a rose. I have to win. Like it just had to
There were a
happen.
lot of celebrities there over the course of this fortnight. Seal being there was one I did not expect.
Yeah,
Nicole Kidman was there.
makes sense.
Both the Prince and the Princess of Wales and Prince George and Princess Charlotte were there for the final.
Hmm.
Um,
So yeah, it
just
was. Yeah,
lots. King of Spain was there.
yes, he was. The King of Spain was there. I think that's kind of a common thing when a Spaniard's in the final.
Not always.
Really?
Not always.
Oh,
I
Rafa.
don't think
How often did Rafa make the final though?
the King of Spain was definitely there in
No,
08.
8.
I don't think he was there in 2010.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing about it is Andre Agassi yelling at his play-by-play guy, telling him, "I don't care about the celebrities. I'm going to talk tennis."
That was funny.
Shout out to Andre Agassi. Hey, BBC, if you want someone to work with Andre Agassi to talk tennis, me and Adelia are free.
Not me. I don't need to be on TV.
No, what? I think it's a radio broadcast.
I don't care.
It's,
If it's a radio broadcast, leave David Law to do it. Our friend at the tennis podcast. He works
Okay,
for
then-
the BBC radio lot.
okay. Then I guess it was the live broadcast of it then of the TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard who the British commentators were.
Yeah.
for
Well,
the-
Andre Agassi was not very happy. That's all I have to say.
I don't think he would be. No, that
Yeah,
just doesn't
Andre-
seem like an Andre.
Andre
Agassi thing.
Agassi. Well, even though ESPN didn't show their announcers a lot, we could not. You know what? Patrick McEnroe is growing on me.
Patrick's not as bad as John is.
John is horrible. I'm gonna
John,
say.
here's the thing though. John McEnroe is somebody that people of a certain age group hear his name and they go, "Oh, that guy knows a lot about tennis." I'm not
Yeah.
sure he knows a lot about tennis anymore, but it gets people to tune in.
I think John McEnroe has a legend problem. When I say legend problem, I'm like most legends can't coach it or explain it because they were just good at it. But
Yeah,
also-
that's my thing. If you
Yeah.
were one of the elite players in your sport, I think you have a hard time explaining to other people how you did what you did or how the elite players of today are doing what they do.
Mhm.
But if you had to really work at it to get to the top 15 or something, top 20, then I think you can be a really good coach or a really good commentator. I think that's why Darren Cahill's one of the best commentators. I think that's why Jason Goodall is one of the best commentators. They weren't winning slams and number one in the world and all of that. Like, they had to really work for what they got out of their playing careers. So,
Speaking of Killer Cahill winning Wimbledon in his last ever coaching appearance.
I
with
was so
Jannik-
happy for him.
for Jannik Sinner. So yeah, and
Not
these
his co-
things
last, not his last ever coaching appearance for Jannik Sinner. He'll be with Jannik through the
No, I
end
said
of
at
the year.
Wimbledon. I said at
But
Wimbledon.
his last ever Wimbledon coaching
Yes,
experience.
yes.
He-
He's retiring at the end of the year. This will be his last year with Jannik. I just realized how these teams are now big.
Well, Jannik's team got smaller right before.
Yeah,
the
he fired
tournament
two
when
of them.
He fired his physio.
Yeah,
He'll hire another physio.
but it was
Obviously.
still four. It was still four people.
Well, his dad was there.
Oh,
Jannik's dad. I don't think Jannik's dad had ever seen him live in person win a slam before. I don't remember him ever being there before, but they said he got the day off work so he could fly to London and be there. His mom was there. His mom, who went through it in the Roland Garros final, was also
oh
there.
yeah. They kept cutting to her. They kept cutting to her, and she's
They
like,
did.
her and Mama Alcaraz were like, oh my god,
Yeah.
someone get me out of here.
Worth
His brother was
noting,
there.
Paris.
Finally, his brother was there. Because
Yeah.
F1 wasn't on.
Worth noting, Fares, that if Jannik Sinner had taken one of those match points at Roland Garros a few weeks ago, he'd be holding the non-calendar year Grand Slam
Yes,
right
he
now.
would. Yes, he
All
would.
four majors at once,
US,
which is
Australia.
crazy.
Yeah. So now let's preview Adelia, right? It was a great match. It wasn't okay. It was good. It was great.
It wasn't as good as the Roland
Wasn't
Garros
as good.
match.
No, that was.
This was
that-
more straightforward.
Yes.
There was a part at the end of the third set where I just went, Jannik's winning this. unless Carlos comes out of absolutely nowhere. But Carlos was getting frustrated. He wasn't the serve wasn't as effective, the drop shot wasn't being effective, and I was just like, Jannik's got this unless Carlos pulls a rabbit out of a hat, which he did not do.
No, not this time around. But now, Adelia, let's get like few random notes. Either Alcaraz and Sinner have won each of the last 7 majors. You think that continues at the U.S. Open? Does, in a sense, that's probably going to be favored in Sinner's.
Sinner's the defending champion.
Yes, he's the defending champion, but Alcaraz has won as well.
Alcaraz has won it before,
and he's beaten Sinner there.
He's beaten Sinner there.
That was the first match. I think that was the first match we watched of them together.
Yeah, that was the match that lasted till like 3:00 in the morning in New York and was incredible.
Yeah.
I
think it still continues. I think it's 8 in a row for both of them.
I think it could be.
I don't want it to be because I'll be rooting for my guys.
My question here is, who would step up? I think Taylor is very close to stepping up, but I think
the final last year.
He made the final last year. He also made the semifinals here. There's a gulf in ability, though, I think, between the two of them and everyone else, and it's really starting to show. Taylor strikes me as one of those kind of guys who's not settling for, I made the top 10. I make the quarterfinals of a slam. I make a couple $1 million a year and I'm comfortable. Taylor doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. So he could be an interesting one to finally break through and end this 22-year drought, because it will be 22 years at this year US Open since the last time an American man has won a major.
God rest your soul, and erratic.
Why do you say that like he's dead?
Because American male tennis is kind of dead.
Yeah. It's not dead. It's not dead. But
not dead, but it's not alive.
It's not as successful as it used to be, but it's not dead. How about this, Fares? Arina Sabalenka's won 17 matches at majors this year. No titles.
I know, that's crazy, man. It's just the way it works, man. Sometimes it happens like that. Tennis is cruel. Tennis is cruel. Like we just see what happened with Alcaraz. Semifinal against Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz, he knew what he had to do. He had to go big on the serve. He had to control it. But Alcaraz, his serve was also just as big against Taylor. His serve didn't show up in the final. It just happens sometimes. It just happens sometimes. But also too, back to the American tennis thing, Adelia. I'm sorry, but I grew up being told, man, American men's tennis, we won majors. We won them. We rolled up and Agassi, Sampras, Michael Chang got one. Jim Courier got like 2 or 3. Jimmy Connors, even McEnroe. I grew up with those guys. I grew up with that history. And now, man, I'm seeing, we got to a semifinal or a quarter. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, considering the patch that we were in with American men's tennis.
Yeah, it was bad.
Them getting to a semifinal or a final is a big accomplishment right now. We just need someone to say, that's not good enough. And I get that feeling from Taylor, that Taylor
I agree with you. I agree. I help you. And the problem is, I think that the problem is the other 3 aren't like him. I'm starting to think it
might be. He just doesn't have the experience in the game yet.
Adelia, I'm sorry, but when a 19-year-old's winning the U.S. Open, I'm sorry. What experience do you need?
Some, especially men, Fares, mature mentally differently.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm sorry. Carlos Alcaraz, I didn't know who the hell he was. He was 18. Just got on the scene. He's like, I'm going to win the U.S. And he won the U.S. Open. Ben Shelton is 23.
Yeah, and Ben Shelton came from college tennis. He wasn't playing in majors at 19. It's entirely different, Fares. You've got to keep in mind, he hasn't been on the tour for that long. Just because Carlos has doesn't mean Ben has.
Hasn't he been on the tour for like 3-4 years? 2-3 years?
You and Ben.
He's 20, right? Tour debut.
He's 22 for starters.
Okay, my bad.
He made his tour debut in July of 2022, so 3 years.
Okay, and Carlos Alcaraz has been on the tour 4 years.
No. Carlos was playing futures and stuff well before that. He began his professional career at 2018 at age 15. Like, he broke into the top 100 in May of 2021. That's before Ben even was playing to get ranking points. So I don't think it's fair to compare that
Okay.
like that.
Okay. Good point. That's a good point. That's a great point. That's a great point.
Carlos's first major title was a month or 2 months after Ben made his tour debut.
Okay.
Won the
Valid point.
2022 US
Valid
Open.
point. Okay. Good.
It's
Valid.
not the
Valid.
same.
All right. So I'm disappointed in Francis Tiafoe and Tommy Paul then. That's what I'm disappointed in. All right. I'm
You should be
disappointed.
disappointed in Francis. I'll
Yes.
agree with that one. Tommy Paul, I can't work out Tommy Paul because every time he every time he starts to get a roll going, he gets injured. Like the
Damn.
ankle thing, which does not sound like it's very good coming out of Wimbledon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. I hope it's not like a serious thing. I really hope, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But more random notes. Enough of me just always being angry when American men's tennis gets brought up. I'm sorry. I always get very upset. Shout out to the women though. We got 5 in the top 15. So shout out to them. Shout out to Coco, Jess, Madison, Amanda, and
we're gonna go
Emma
into the
Moore.
rankings in a minute.
Yes, we will. Yes. Ground passes at Wimbledon were $35 this year. For what you get the access to all non-ticketed courts. So center court, court 1, and the third
Court
one.
2.
And court 2. Every other court you can walk around, enter, leave, and come in and out. The big 3, like most majors, they have the big 3 courts. You have to have tickets. $35, Adelia, for a walking around.
$35 for a day?
Yeah,
I think that's
good.
great. So kudos to them.
Yeah, and there's
Keeping
always
costs
good
down.
tennis on the outer courts. Certain people, even like some rankings, like I'm pretty sure Daria Kazatkina played on one of the outer courts, so you could probably watch her. Some others, probably Emma Navarro probably played out there. You can catch some good tennis out there.
Catch some good tennis out there
Yeah.
for sure. But like imagine it, Varys. $35, bring a picnic basket, sit on Henman Hill all day.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
lovely time.
Sounds like an amazing time. Get some strawberries and cream, which I saw them make it because they cut to the little area during the men's final. They just put strawberries in like a little carton and just drizzle cream on it.
Yeah. It's
That's
not
it.
whipped cream, it's cream.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, wait, I'm a little disappointed. I can lie to you.
No.
A little disappointed.
I want to try it sometime.
I want to try it, but I am a little
Sounds really good.
disappointed because I'm
But
like,
it's not whipped cream? Did you think it was whipped cream?
no, I just thought it was like some type of fancy dish. You know what I mean? Like, because
No,
it's Wimbledon,
no.
right? It's Wimbledon. You probably get but it's just like this drop strawberries and it looks like a Chinese food thing.
Carton.
Carton.
It's carton.
It's like he's got a carton. They drop some strawberries and we're like, here. It's like, wait, what? That's it?
I
A
mean,
lot of prims. I saw a lot. Yo, they were Pims.
Pims.
Yo, they were preloading those up because they knew. Yo, it was like a
Pims at
road.
Wimbledon is like the honeydews at the US Open.
Man. Oh, but they're alcoholic though.
Yeah, they are.
Nah, damn, I can't have any. I
No.
don't drink.
Yeah.
Probably get a Roy Rogers. You know what I mean? I found out what a Roy Rogers was when I was watching a documentary. Shout out to Kirk Cousins for telling me about those. But yeah, more notes. In the women's doubles, Elise Mertens and Veronika Kurdamatova beat Yelena Ostapenko and
Shea Sue.
Shea Sue. So Katerina Siniakova. No, not Katerina.
Yes.
Katerina Siniakova.
Yes.
They didn't get a doubles title this year. So
She got the mixed doubles title.
got the mixed doubles one, but not
not the doubles.
Yes. She broke up with her longtime partner, Barbara Krejcikova. Were they together? There was somebody else.
Krejcikova and Siniakova. They
yes.
haven't played together in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Men's doubles. We had an all British pair win. Lloyd
Yes.
Glasspool and Julian Cash became the first British pair to win men's doubles since, I believe, 1931. So almost a century.
Yeah. A high court decision expected by the end of June on whether Wimbledon can expand as they are currently planned. the expansion is allowed to proceed, the completion date wouldn't be done until the early 2030s.
Hmm.
Because they're trying to move the qualifiers on site, move everything closer this year and for the next probably the next 4 or 5 years. Well, since forever, qualifying was at Roehampton, which is not down the street, but close enough, but not but
Close
not.
enough, but not
It's,
yeah.
yes, yeah. But they want to do what the U.S. Open does. Qualifying is on site at the U.S. Open. Same thing with the French. Is that also on site?
Oh yeah, French and Australian
Yes,
and
all of them except Wimbledon
all
are on site.
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Because you have to have different courts to play
Yeah.
the qualifying on. You can't
Yes.
just do qualifying on the match courts for the tournament
Yes.
because yeah, not on
Because
grass.
also too, certain players want to practice, so you can't free those up. So you got to go Roehampton. So they're adding more courts for more expansion. And you know what? They may add other stuff. They could add courts, but they could add other
Yeah,
stuff
they're
for
adding that. I'll have to find the plans again and send them to you first. But
yeah,
they're adding a bunch of stuff if they
which is
get
good.
this approval to
Yeah.
take over the golf course.
Yep.
In the rankings that came out today, Mira Andreeva, who's 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
she entered the top 5 at number 5. She's the youngest woman to break into the top 5 since 17-year-old Maria Sharapova did it in November of 2004.
Get it.
And Amanda Anisimova debuted at number 10 today in the top 10 for the first time. One of 4 American women in the top 10, 5 American women in the top 11, because Emma Navarro is 11th.
Yep. Yep. Flavio.
Would you like me to do this one?
Yeah, hit me.
Flavio Caboli became the 7th
Flavio.
man born in 2002 or later to reach the top 20 in the rankings, joining Carlos Alcaraz, Holger Rune,
Mm-hmm.
Lorenzo Musetti, Ben Shelton, Arthur Fies, and Jakob Mensik. Alcaraz, Rune, Musetti, and Shelton have all since cracked the top 10. They're all in the top 10 currently. Carlos Alcaraz is in second. Lorenzo Musetti stays in 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Holger Rune in 8th, Ben Shelton in 9th.
Mm-hmm. Is it Flavio?
It's Flavio.
Flavio. Oh, but
Yeah.
when I saw his name, I was like Flavor Flav. I was like, threw me off for a
Oh,
minute. It threw me off for a minute. And I was like, flavor, flavor.
Flavio.
So I was
And
gonna say Flav. Yeah, so Flavio. Okay, got it.
yeah, and I
Mhm.
just want to shout out one more time Fabio Fognini, one of the most controversial players to ever play as far as things that he would say to opponents in the chair umpire. Um, but he played that fantastic match against Carlos in the first round and was like, "Mic drop, I'm done." Even
Mhm.
though he was planning on playing until the end of the year. But as it was pointed out to me by reading a piece on Sports Illustrated today, not the biggest mic drop in his family. Flavia Panetta, his wife, retired after winning the U.S. Open for her only Grand Slam title.
Gangster shit right there.
It is.
Is he the guy that Rafa kept talking about in the Roger documentary who grunts?
No,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
Fabio.
Because Matteo Berrettini was defending that guy. I don't know. I don't remember who that was.
That's Lorenzo Sonego, I believe.
Oh, okay. Got Osnego. Yeah, yeah. But isn't there also another Italian guy that Rafa didn't like?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was about to say like Rafa got beef with all the Italians.
No, Rafa does not have beef with all the Italians.
That'd be hilarious. But no, yeah, no, absolutely. But oh my god, 2002?
2002.
Jesus, dude,
2
we're
years
old.
after you are
We're
not
old.
old.
We're old.
You are not old.
I'm pretty old.
I am old. That's
Ah,
2 years after I graduated high school. But
that's
you are not
crazy.
old.
That's crazy, man. What am I doing with my life? These guys out here playing world class tennis, traveling the world.
What
You
did
know what I
I
mean?
do with my life?
Well, circumstances. It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, but oh my god, what great tennis all around. Can't wait for the U.S. Open, Adelia.
Wimbledon was great. I thought the
Yeah.
coverage on ESPN was pretty good this year.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the addition of Sam Querrey and Coco Vandeweghe. I thought they brought a fresh perspective. Um,
It does with Coco Vandeweghe. I think of her uncle.
oh, yeah.
Shakiki! Shout out you.
Yeah.
I love
Um,
He played for
I
the Knicks.
he was the general manager of the Nuggets too. I think that they've got the reporters there on site. They had Chris Budden and Jeff Darlington and
Yes.
Sam Borden, I want to say, is Sam's last name. I don't remember Sam's last name. But I think that they've got some decisions to make on the coverage of the slams at ESPN. You know, ESPN's been letting a lot of people go, and I could see maybe some of the names that have become so familiar to us over the years sort of being phased out for this like newer, maybe slightly younger generation of former players that can broadcast as well. What do you think?
I think they should finagle Andre Agassi.
I'm I think that would be interesting. I don't know if Andre wants to do it.
No, you're right. You're probably well, but he did it for the BBC though.
Yeah, but that's like a one-off thing. I don't think he was there for the whole 2 weeks of the tournament.
Okay, no, you know exactly. No, do what he did with the French. He
But
showed
I
up
don't
the.
know that ESPN would want that. Just show up for the final. I think they'd want him for the whole 2
Oh
weeks
no,
of
no,
the
no.
tournament.
He only showed up for the last week in the French.
I
It
don't think
wasn't
he was
just the
there for the
final.
entire last week. He was just there for like the semis
I
and
thought he was.
beyond.
Oh,
But
that's a
I
good point.
I just
That's a
don't
good
think
point.
that his schedule and ESPN's schedule would work together.
He has
But
no schedule.
he has a schedule, Ferris.
Oh, okay. Jeff Darlington was there. I didn't know. I didn't notice that
Jeff
guy.
Darlington was there.
Okay.
His son was watching Carlos practice the day of the final.
Yeah, yeah.
He got an
No, but
autographed
I think
ball.
yeah. Here's the thing. I hope tennis doesn't do that though, because a lot of studio shows, a lot of sports programs, they're going pro athlete focus, and we are seeing right. The famous phrase was always like, "Why are these people who've never played the sport talking about the sport?" That was always the phrase, right? And then for a lot of times now they've added so many athletes on theirs, and you've started to realize some of these athletes don't know don't know what the hell they're talking about.
But that's why I said, like, first off, the coverage on tennis has always been very athlete focused, having the
Mhm.
athletes broadcast. Maybe not do the play by play,
Oh no.
but do the rest of it.
Yeah.
And you know, we have James Blake on there now. We had Sam Querrey and Coco Vandaway this year. I almost said Coco Goff. Coco Vandaway this year. Nick Kyrgios, before he screwed it up, had a very promising broadcasting career because whether
Yeah.
we liked him or not, he was good at what he was doing.
Yeah.
So I think that there are players that they could bring in to take some of those spots, but at the
Mhm.
same time, like,
You need
I don't know
journalists.
how much they want to change it up.
Yeah. You need the mixture of journalists and players. Like football, it's basketball. It's really player focused, and not football. Not football. Football has there's actually a perfect medium in American football, the coverage where you have players, but then you also have the reporters talk about it.
Mhm.
You know, ESPN, they have the Grazianos, the Mina Kimeses. Yeah, you need a mixture because in basketball, it's all player. It's all
Yeah.
player, and it's
Well,
not good.
like, there's a mixture in tennis because you've
Yeah.
got your Chris McKendry, your Chris Fowler, um, and then you've got, like I said, Chris Budden, Jeff Darlington, Sam Borden.
Mhm.
Back in the day, it used to be Tom Rinaldi.
I
Like,
miss Tom Rinaldi.
yeah,
I think Fox is underutilizing him.
I don't think Fox is utilizing him right, but
Yeah, he's just a sideline reporter there.
yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, interesting to see how the broadcasts develop going into the US Open
Hmm.
and then into Australia next year.
You give me Fowler and I'm good. Fowler and
Fowler,
McKendry.
Fowler and McKendry, I think, are
Fowler
staying.
and McKendry. That's all you, because you know that's the way it is, man. Fowler and McKendry. Because Chris Fowler is kind of my idol. Not kind of, he is my idol. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Chris Fowler. I don't know why. He seems amazing. College football is nothing without Chris Fowler, because a lot of the big voices are retired. But yeah, it's like him and Gus Johnson. These new guys they're bringing up, I think some of them are overrated, but that's just me personally. But yeah, shout out to Chris Fowler. Mary Jo was good. I like Mary Jo. She's always
Mary
been
Jo's a
good.
former player.
Yeah, yeah. Mary Jo's good. Jason
Darren's
Goodall.
fantastic, but I don't know if Darren's going to keep doing it because he's retiring from
Yeah,
coaching. But I don't know if he's going to keep doing the TV stuff.
yeah. I think he will
I
because
think he will too.
you know he shows up for the major, and then he leaves, and then he's not coaching. So he has months of just nothing, and then he shows up to a major. Because with Jannik, it's show up to the major, coach, and then when after the major, I'm still coaching Jannik. But if when he's retired, shows up to Australia. Australia's over, and then he has 4 months of nothing or 3 months of nothing and they don't even do Roland Garros, so he doesn't even have to do Roland Garros. So it's six,
Yeah.
4 months of nothing, and then Wimbledon, and then 2 months of nothing, and then boom. Well, not 2 months.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think KO's gonna, because if Cahill's thinking the way I'm thinking, he's gonna have enough time to, he's gonna have enough time. Brad Gilbert was there, then they tagged him out for James Blake. Yeah. I grew up with most of these people. I grew up with most of them. I grew up with the McEnroes, Sam Querrey,
Cliff Drysdale.
Yeah, they haven't. ESPN hasn't changed their tennis people in like years.
That's why I think it's they're starting to refresh it, because they've added Chris Budden to do interviews and stuff. They've added Sam Borden to do like that. You've got Jeff Darlington doing like the Tom Rinaldi-esque pieces on the pregame, on the pre-match stuff. You've got new faces in James Blake and Coco Vandeweghe and Sam Querrey to give different types of analysis. I really noticed it at the Slam. That it's starting to look different on the ESPN tennis broadcast.
They did an interview. They did a pre-taped interview with Darren Cahill, and they chopped it up. Where they did a split box, and it was a good interview with Darren. He actually, those interviews only work if the person you're interviewing wants to give you something and wants to talk to you. And Darren Cahill, I think, being an employee of ESPN, was like, I'm going to, give you something. And it was phenomenal. The insight where he talked about, like, we want Jannik to be aggressive with the serve, and we want him to push forward and be big. And guess what? As he's talking about the Adelia, Jannik is serving and he's doing what Darren is saying. So like, it was really cool seeing the juxtaposition of the two box. So it's pretty cool. So yeah. But without further ado, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed, our rambling and ranting about the Wimbledon, about tennis. We love sports, man. We love, you name it, we probably watch it. I know I do. I watch pretty much anything. And I thank you every day, because I like tennis. My apologies. That was the dumpling acting up. Tertiary. I like tennis. I know tennis. The Williams sisters, Rafa, Roger. The Joker. I know them. They're cool. But I'm in love with it now. You know what I mean? Same thing with soccer. I liked soccer. It was tertiary. But you've really brought out my love for tennis and soccer, and I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, Fares. Yeah. I really enjoy getting to talk about this with you. So.
Yeah. It was really awesome. All right, where can people find you? Where on the Let's Get Ready networks?
You can usually find me over on the post credits channel doing Rewatchers Council. We do a Buffy episode live Thursdays 3 p.m. Pacific. We do Angel episodes on Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific, and we do the MCU not live on Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific. Not sure if I'm going to be on them this week. I've got family in town. But we've got Starting 11 coming back on this channel next month. In August, we'll be doing our preview show, season preview of the Premier League. Me and Snark. We'll try to get Fares on that show as well.
Pick'em's champion.
Fares, the Pick'em's champion.
Yeah.
We got to do that again this year.
Yes. So, and we got to, add a fourth person who actually cares.
Yeah. Good luck us trying to find that.
Okay.
Maybe we can convince Ryan to do it.
Yeah.
We'll try to get Ryan to do it. But that's basically all I'm on over here. Fares, what about you?
Same thing with you, Adelia, the Rewatchers Councils. You already know what time and day we do those, but also sprinkled it in Fridays, 5 o'clock Pacific. We've changed our time. Me and Caleb. On this channel, me and Caleb bring you good friends, better rivals. Adelia and Snark talk world football. Me and Caleb talk American football, specifically the NFC East, mainly the Giants and the Cowboys, mixing the little Eagles and some Commanders. Shout out to the homies out there. We're getting new people on every new people going on every day. So appreciate y'all. But on that note,
There's links to both channels in the description of this episode. Please do
absolutely,
subscribe. We really appreciate it. And also like
absolutely.
and share this video. We also have a Patreon or a Ko-Fi page if you want to support us financially a
Mhm,
little bit. And you can always buy us a coffee as well. There's links for that in the
mhm.
description too.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful time, and make sure to serve and volley, because you don't want a long rally.
I mean, we won a long rally,
Yeah,
Fares.
we do
So
want a long rally. Yeah, it's the name of the show. So, rally. John Isner style. No, wait, no, not John Isner.
no, not
No,
John Isner style.
he's a serve bot.
We're just gonna end it now.
Yeah, let's end it. I was trying to make a tennis.